Good evening, নমস্কার, ধন্যবাদ আমাকে এই প্রোগ্রামে আপনারা ডেকেছেন. I'm delighted that you have invited me to this very important program, Infocom 2015. I've been reading about the program every day in the newspapers. You got some heavyweight people here, some of whom I know, some I don't know. And therefore, as a small person like me that you've called me today, I am somewhat humbled. The topic for today, আমি কি ইংরেজিতে বলবো বাংলায় বলবো? আচ্ছা মিশিয়ে বলি because okay. So আজকের the topic given to me is the vision of West Bengal in the IT space 2020. Topic which the ABP group has kindly given me, and so I will try to spend about 20 minutes to 25 minutes and then could take a few questions if you think. Mr. Purokayastho, the Managing Director, CEO is here. If you think that I will have time for questions, I'd love to do that. I see a lot of young people here too, and people of my vintage, so that's a very good mixture in the audience today. Well, first of all, the question I'd like to raise is, what are the elements of this vision? When I told Honorable Chief Minister that I am coming here, Mamata Bandyopadhyay, she is very tech savvy, as you know, and has been using that space. She just said one word, which is very interesting. Remember in the railways, when I worked as chairman of the PPP committee with her, we started that e-tender, which remained, of course, in its infancy. And when we came to Bengal, she remembered that, and we've implemented 64 departments of the government. No purchase can be made other than by e-tender, which is integrity as well as transparency. So that is where the vision begins, which is e-governance. I think the vision of Bengal in 2020 is to achieve the largest e-governance structure, the most intense, reaching every member of this state. প্রত্যেকটি মানুষের কাছে আমরা e-process পৌঁছে দেব. I'll give you তারই রূপরেখা আমি আপনাদের সামনে প্রথমে রাখতে চাই. In 5 minutes or so, I'd like to give an outline of the e-governance as a tool of the e-revolution or electronic medium as a revolution that will unfold in Bengal. Significant part of it is already there, which I will relate to you, but we'll move to that. Second is, in the process of creating e-governance, there will be throughput effects on the private sector. I will give you some sense of how that will happen. So your little business or your big business can be a part of this process that I would like to see unfold. The third element will take us a little esoteric level. We think, as a government of West Bengal, that we have come to a very critical point in convergence. And what would this convergence mean in the next 5 years, 4 years? How does the government feel about it? And what have we done towards this convergence? The so-called digital world. And the fourth element is, how do you make this digital world accessible right from the bottom of the pyramid person to the top? What often is called digital divide, we look at it as a digital dividend in this process of convergence. How are you going to do that? 4 years is a very short period of time, but some things can be done in 4 years or 5 years, which we have envisioned as a government. Let me start by giving you very quickly the e-governance rollout that we have done. Not people know about it, not people write about it. So this may be a good occasion to just give you quickly what that structure is about. National Knowledge Network. Statewide Area Network. What do all these words mean? WBSWAN, West Bengal SWAN. What is a SWAN? Statewide Area Network. What does it mean in the ground level? Well, what we have in fact done is that right from district to subdivision to block, we are extending this revolutionary process of optical fiber networks. Now, I'll give you an example. 2,347 points of presence is what we are rolling out. Up to block level. This is up to block level. Now, 530 horizontal offices. Now, what does that mean? Let's get down to brass tacks. A horizontal office is Department of Finance, registration office. You have a property, you want to register. That's in a horizontal office. Now, that's Inspector General of Registration does that. What we are doing is, we are taking the fiber into 530 horizontal offices. I don't know how many of you know that North Chobbish Pargana, which is a district just beyond, if you keep driving on this road you'll reach, North Chobbish Pargana has become paperless. That was the pilot. Howrah, which is across the bridge, has done the most unique experiment, which is to converge mutation and conversion, and now doing digitalization of all documents, which is being replicated in other districts. This is what the IT revolution can do for you. So earlier, when you went with your Dalil to register a property or buying a small flat or a place, you bring all those papers. Those papers then go into manual processes. God knows how long it will take. Finally, it gets into in the last stage, it will become a disk, which will then go to the head office. Now, today by broadband, you're uplinking right away. And about 240 offices have already been done, and another 30 is in process right now. So that's a horizontal office. I give you one example. LNLR Department, Land Reforms Department. 349 Labor Department offices are underway right now towards this horizontal office under the program of rolling out fiber, connecting that fiber. Now, 27 state headquarters of the government buildings connected by VC, where you can do video conferencing, which the Chief Secretary regularly does, to facility over WB SWAN, that is the statewide area network. Backbone, bandwidth upgrade. What is it? 2 Mbps to 4 Mbps. From district to subdivisional, already approved, and the process is being rolled out. That's the vision. So whether the middle level officer, junior officer, senior officer, minister can all go on video conference. In fact, the Chief Secretary today was doing a video conference with all district magistrates, all on broadband. You go down to the subdivisions, SDOs, he can do that. And very soon, we'll be able to do that to the block development officer. And when Mamata Banerjee goes for the administrative implementation meeting, she will already know in advance, because of the broadband connectivity, where a project has happened and where a project is still to happen, what is the stage at which a project is. She doesn't have to go there and look for a piece of paper. Now, then I come to the National Optical Fiber Network. Just to give you some data, because many of you are technologically very advanced, unlike me. Broadband connectivity to all 3,354 Gram Panchayats. That's the digital divide connect. That has to be digital dividend. Instead of divide, the dividend. 3,354 Gram Panchayats in the state. About 7,000 kilometers of optical fiber is being laid under the project of the state NOF, National Optical Fiber Mission. And providing, what is the speed? Speed is 100 Gbps, with a maximum of 96 core OFC links. So we are not settling for small, we are settling for a 15-year or 20-year vision, not the 5-year vision that I'm talking about today. Now, state government will leverage this for local economic growth. How, once this fiber is laid, what we do not need, what broadband we don't need for e-governance, we will auction it. Absolutely transparent auction it. And what will we auction it for? We will auction it for almost every kind of commercial service. You run a small television program supply in the local area. Now you can get onto that broadband. So typically there's a commercial benefit to the small guy, because you're talking about a Gram Panchayat or a subdivisional level. So what the e-governance is not using, that broadband will be used for commercial purpose when a transparent, well-defined auction model. Now I come to, for example, cable service, local internet service you want to provide. You will have that option. You don't have to build the fiber. It's very expensive. We'll provide you the infrastructure. You connect and you do your business, while government does its own e-governance business. IT&E department through Webble, and Managing Director Webble is here, has decided to form an SPV for implementation of this process. So that there's a financial structure also that's very clear. You can use the SPV in order to do this. So this is the architecture of the vision for not for 5 years, but 15 to 20 years. And it's already rolling out. Many places are connected. As I gave you the example of my registration offices, the government offices, I gave you the number, 530 horizontal offices, already connected. Already connected. We are not talking about tomorrow. With 591 IGR. That's the registration offices. 591 IGR and LR and land department offices. 349 labor department offices. These are all done. I'm not talking about tomorrow. This is already done today. So with this architecture, you have a vision where the digital revolution can go to the grassroots. The intention of this government is, how do you include those people at the block level? The only way, I'll give you one example. The blocks, as we are going to the blocks, as we are going to the Gram Panchayat, we wanted to know how many, where there may not be a bank. We decided that the Panchayat office will give the bank, who wants to open one, 300 to 400 square feet. Now, but that bank will need broadband. End of the day, they're going to be really efficient instead of running paper. So the minute a bank opens, the bank will give loans, do assessments, for that a broadband will be used. So I'm talking about the serious matter of how, unlike certain countries, or in the country some states, this state will target the digital convergence and the digital revolution for massive inclusion never seen probably in the country. At least that's our vision. We'll challenge anybody to do that. So, because that is the key to the future. How many people are you including? Now let me come to access to mobile connectivity in West Bengal, which is another piece of this puzzle. 74.51 out of 100 population, that is 74.51%, is the tele-density in West Bengal. Did you know that? That's not a small amount. 74.51. And what is interesting to me is urban tele-density is 135.77, because many people in urban sector have more than one cell phone, but many of you have at least two in your pocket. Rural tele-density has already gone up to close to 50%, 49.89 to be precise, and climbing very steeply. Mobile subscriber base You want to know what's the mobile subscriber base? I'll give you the data. 70.03 million. So out of 93 million people, the mobile subscriber base is 70 million people in West Bengal under this government and its effort is already part of that process. And what is interesting is out of that rural subscribers, you would have expected 1 or 2 million or 3 or 4. No, it is 33.45 million. And urban subscriber is 36.58 million. Almost the same. This is a fascinating thing for me. The two are almost close. Internet subscriber. For this digital revolution to happen, you need internet, to which I'll come in a moment. 19.20 million is the internet subscriber base. It may be little more. I'm giving you a slightly dated figure. Now, rural subscribers, you would expect very few who use the internet. Now, that is where the fiber comes in. That's where the broadband comes in, which we are rolling out. Already, 7.30 million rural subscriber base of internet users. This is stunning. Of course, urban is 11.90 million, almost 12 million, and rural is almost 7.5 million. So the rural people are getting connected. That is the vision of this government. How do you bring them in? So, mobile subscriber base, so that this whole mobile banking, mobile-based activity of the future is captured. Internet subscriber base, which is one grade higher. Of course, most of your smartphones are almost as capable of as any laptop or any regular computer. So that gives you another facility. Public Internet Access Program in West Bengal. What are we doing? Common Service Center is 1 point. We have how many? The total number in the state is 6,797. Total CSC rolled out in the state already. This is the target is 6,797. Already rolled out 6,346. What's the coverage like? 3,449 GPS and 334 blocks. Gram Panchayats and blocks. Transactions per month is quite large, but we will push this forward. Today you pay your electric bills or your various operational things, but we are going to move forward rapidly in terms of the transactions to make them financially viable and also make profits. We have some plans I don't want to reveal today on what this center could be further used for. So you can imagine what more you can do to create entrepreneurship from these centers. Beyond just paying bills. For that they need broadband, which is what I talked about, the grey fiber rollout and the broadband. Then let me switch to the urban mode. Intelligent city. 4 brownfield cities and 6 greenfield cities. Brownfield, which are these? Haldia, Durgapur, Bidhannagar, New Town. Now, the greenfield cities, where there's land of the state government, so there's no land issue, we are doing 6 greenfield cities. These are going to be perhaps the most intelligent cities in the world. I went to Delhi in promoting the Bengal Global Business Summit in January. So the American Chamber of Commerce wanted to do a breakfast meeting. Great. You know what was the greatest resonance in the meeting? Was the intelligent cities. Why? By whom? The Americans are not builders in India, right? So who was responding? Cisco, HP, 3M. They were all there. Why were they there? They want to be part of that 6 greenfield intelligent cities which are going to be planned completely, where the developer will build into it. It has to be intelligent and green. So I would submit to you that this is a very core activity. The brownfields are a little harder because you have to lay fiber in a dense city that's already built. But it's more challenging and therefore greater business. What are the smart solutions like? E-governance and citizen service. Waste management. Completely e-based. You may have been reading recently that there are some startups in that area. I know somebody for a long, long time, young lady, left United States, is a US citizen, but decided to do something in India. Berkeley graduate. She's doing waste management. E-based waste management. Waste to energy. Waste to compost. Waste to water. All these require intelligent processes. Water management. This is where people centricity comes from. Energy management. Urban mobility and others. Broadband for a digital audience. Let me come to some things that you'd be interested in. Region-wise distribution, overall e-commerce. Region-wise in India. Of course, India is growing at 34% CAGR in terms of e-commerce. 34% growth. Now, this is where we have an opportunity. East and Northeast has only 6% e-commerce. Whereas we are laying out the fiber, so you can work on that, and a great opportunity to do that. And we are auctioning out space for you to use as private sector. South India is larger, North India is larger, West India larger. Future growth of e-commerce is East. And in East, the gateway to the East, which is Kolkata and Bengal. Whole of Northeast. Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh. I went to our IT park. Now, how many here, the journalists here, I would request you, come and visit our IT park in Siliguri. Now, we are building a second one because there is excess demand. I saw a room where there were 700 to 800 young people with computers in front of them, earphone, speaking in different shades of Bengali. My family came from Jessore. I was born in Kolkata. The way in Joshore and Khulna and Dhaka and Borishal, people speak Bengali are quite different. But of course, Chandga is a ball game in itself. These boys were speaking in these different dialects of Bengali, sitting with a computer and earphone. I said, what are they doing? That's the center of Airtel's entire Bengali distribution system. Who are they? In Siliguri, ordinary simple boys and girls. They've been trained, they're doing. Now just above them was a floor, I quietly went there. KPO. You know what happened? The company there said you can't enter. You may be anybody, we don't know who you are. You can't enter. I said, why? They said, we run a KPO in an area with the United States where we have rules. If you have to enter, you have to enter all this, including every kind of, your whole Tikuji has to be given there. I didn't enter. I assumed what they're doing is insurance. Sensitive area. So that I didn't enter. I said, I respect your rules, but it's there. Now, are you aware that 8 IT centers in 2-tier cities are ready? Plug and play? The Wevel CEO is here. I took review of it every month with photographs. I want to know what's really on the ground. 2-tier cities. So when I saw the Siliguri, it struck me that in 2-tier cities you have young people who can be employed in those centers. Because there is scope for simple things using broadband and the digital connectivity from the bottom and lower end of the pyramid. So that's our interesting vision. Mobile is to be the most influential aspect of e-commerce, you know that. And I've given you the mobile percentages. So we are ready for mobile-based e-commerce. Product basket. Most important to me is MSME. Small and medium enterprises. How do you draw them into the digital revolution and this convergence taking place? More startups in grocery and agro-product space, big basket, all kinds of people are trying to work in that. I want that small guy to be there benefiting from that process straight. Agricultural marketing. We have built agricultural markets. We are making them intelligent. Logistics, supply chain, warehousing, cold storage, wholesale, retail, etc. All of this has to be made intelligent. And our vision includes this whole space. Preservation, supply chain, online, all this is a part of the agro-based process. Yes, now I come to the last element so that I can take some questions. I'll now rise to the 35,000 foot level and ask myself, what I've given you on the ground, how do I connect to the viewing things from the top? In terms of our vision, intelligent city I've already given you. Huge work being done. Mobile applications, I've already indicated to you. Robotics. Robotics is going to happen. I want to move you for a second to Internet of Things, IoT. What does that mean? I want to give you my personal life example. 8 years ago, when I was not in West Bengal, I was in Delhi, I went to Indonesia, Jakarta. There's an Indian gentleman who's perhaps the biggest guy in textile in Indonesia. So I went to his house, many of us, delegation. So his drawing room looked like a museum, parts from Italy, specifically from Marche region, from France, and it looked almost like a museum, not like a living room, a lived-in living room. So I said to him, this 8 years ago, I said, how many rooms do you have in this house? He said, I can't tell you rooms, but I'll show you something. What is it? So he stepped out of his drawing room into a little place, steps, beautiful steps going up. There was a computer screen, touch screen. He touched it. 280,000 watts of lighting in the house. 280,000 watts. It was on the screen, room by room by room. He could touch screen 8 years ago. He could touch and switch off specific lights in the room. But where Internet of Things comes in, he would have to do it physically, right? Now the same guy is in New York. Can he do the same thing? Yes, he can. That is where Internet of Things comes in. By the Internet as a platform, he can get into that screen I saw, and he can switch off a light. He can put on a light. You can do that for energy saving in your house. I'll just give you a physical example of how Internet of Things is going to change our life. Health. Cisco came to a conference at NASSCOM here, in this very room, probably the same room. I met them. They said one of the things we want to do with CSR is do 10 schools to start with as pilot. We'll teach completely in a central place. We will do curriculum with them as a pilot. How could they do it? Could they do it before? No. They will need our fiber. They will need our broadband. Then I went to Delhi, and HP told me, which I didn't know myself, that they're running a medical clinic in West Bengal, which is connected by internet to a telemedicine center of doctors. And they as a pilot, and they physically showed me what they were doing. It's almost like a little place. But they're running it. They could not have done it. Internet of Things is health. It is education. It is agricultural change. I'm not talking about the upper middle class and the educated IT guys. I'm talking about those who can benefit directly from that. MSME. Internet of Things is going to change. Yes, you can have a software you would have had before which does inventory management for you. But could you control it on a broadband basis? No. Would you have cloud technology to put that up so you can access it? You couldn't. That's the vision of Bengal. Small and medium enterprise which has an inventory management or a product management supply chain can do this much more efficiently. You know, this morning I was talking to somebody. I just wanted to know the ground level before I come, so that I do my homework. I asked that gentleman, you're doing something somewhere on energy. Please tell me. He said, we've got a huge order from Norway in doing energy saving in 4 Norwegian cities from Kolkata. I was amazed. So when we talk of Internet of Things, we are not talking about in the cloud. Cloud is only one technology. It means that you can sit in Kolkata and be able to help in energy. You do your own little generation of electricity, you put it on the grid. How do you get paid? How much have you put in? Who knows? This was done in California about 6-7 years ago, where you could put it on the grid directly, and the software drove that process, but it was not in the domain at that time, in the Internet of Things. Big data. I'm told in a particular country I don't want to mention, there was a huge uprising, and another country, hostages taken of people of that country many years ago, before many of you were born. Now the intelligence agency of those who were taken hostage had every data possible, but they never analyzed it. 5 years later they realized they had all the information they needed to deal with that situation. They had all the data. So, data analytics. So what are we going to do about analytics? You can ask me. Okay, nice idea. What are you going to do? We have given in Kollani a space of the government for an analytics park. And you're happy to know that Bengal Chamber of Commerce, led by Ambarish Dasgupta, a partner in KPMG, he's the president now. Bengal Chamber has taken the task of organizing that, bringing an anchor person. So, in Bengal, you'll have an analytics park. Where? In Kollani, where you have AIIMS. You already have a triple IT, by the way. It's running. The second semester is just finished. We are just moving into the next new building. You have triple IT, you have AIIMS, you have an analytics park, you have Kollani University, and of course you have a campus, sir. Right? My triple IT is working in your campus. Thank you very much, GIS Group. So, we'll move from there into our own building, which is in process, but we didn't want to wait. Let's have the triple IT now, and good faculty, good students, all selected from national selection process into that school as per the triple IT norms. So, Kollani will have an analytics park. So, my submission is, I'm going to conclude because I've taken more time than allocated. Energy applications, I gave you a physical example. On the question of cloud technology, cloud applications, we've moved forward. I've given you ideas on convergence. Robotics. All of you know that software was produced for machine control. You know what we do by hand, hacksaw drill machine? Switch to a little software inserted. In the car, you have software embedded in many points in the car. That's where one company has got pulled up for some mess up in the software perhaps. Robotics is the next stage. So, and robotics which is internet connected, not robotics localized. That's the IoT. So let me conclude by submitting that the vision of the state, first and most importantly, is that entire e-governance of the state will be defined by the digital convergence. Now, you would tell me, how much have you done? You'll be happy to know that last year we got the Silver Award in a national competition in commercial taxation, commercial taxes. I'm proud to say, which very few news media covered here, that we got this year, central government, this is Computer Association of India's Nihilent Award. We've got the highest award in the country, the gold medal, of 250 applications, including every state in the country and at least 15 departments of the central government. Now you may ask me, how did West Bengal win that? It won it because of the integrated financial management system we've set up. Do you know that 1 paisa spent by the state government from any department anywhere, whether for salary or for purchases, 1 paisa is captured in a transparent manner by the integrated financial management system. And second, Reserve Bank created a portal called eKuber to do precisely this with the Treasury, because it's a Treasury operation which RBI looks after for all states. Nobody used it. The first state to use the eKuber is West Bengal, number 1. Nobody could use it because of the physical structure we set up. And therefore today, and very soon by end of December, early January, every rupee given to the state in the form of taxes or whatever you have will all be capturable on the computer system. And I'm sure we'll win the best award next time also, because no state has been able to be there. I don't know how many of you know that if you register for VAT in Bengal, you can only do it on computers with digitized signature. And what do you get back? That is more important. What does the officer give you back? He gives you back a dematerialized certificate, DMAT, with a digitized signature, which no state has been able to do a DMAT. We could do it because of the huge platform created. And Colonel Bawa is also here, part of this team of the Managing Director and Managing Director subsidiary in Webel. We work together in the department to create this balance. So number 1, e-governance for the poor, not only us. Number 2, use the e-tools, the fiber, the broadband, for commercial purpose at the grassroots level. And number 3, we raise our vision to the level of analytics, big data, and IoT as a tool of the future. That's the vision of Bengal. The smaller part, and I'll end by saying, animation. Animation. We have the creativity in this state, and we are combining it with computer capability. Are you aware that when we came to office, I started working on that, and I found in Hyderabad the Bengali gentleman from Bengal, Taposh Chakraborty. I knew because he was taking over a French company. I helped him to do that in my last life. He perhaps has 4,500 employees in animation, 3,000 of whom are Bengalis. They are now coming back. Concludes by saying, in a NASSCOM conference 1.5 years ago, I arrived 15 minutes early. Here I was dead on time. There I arrived early. What with this fellow minister, crazy fellow? They all usually come late, you know. He arrived 16. What is his point? You know what my point was? I wanted a deliverable. And Mr. Agarwal is here, head of NASSCOM in Bengal. I told the president of NASSCOM, I said, I'm not come here to give a speech. I've come here to have a deliverable. What deliverable do you want? I said, I want you to do the first ever in Bengal, a startup. You've done in Bangalore. It hasn't, how far it has gone, I don't know. You do one in Bengal. And right now, Webel will give you 10,000 square feet and 10,000 square feet. 10,000 now, if you need more, 20,000. On condition that next time NASSCOM meets in Kolkata 1 year from now, I want to know how many startups with angel funding of VCs have you generated. You know what happened? Mr. Agarwal will tell you 1 year later when I came, my deliverable I don't let go. How many startups? 9 young people had got angel funding. Startup in Bengal. And now it is how many, sir? 15 have come into that 10,000 square foot. 20 crore funding of one of the startups. All young people. let me conclude by saying, you know that there is a show going on, I think from today, on Startup Discovery of Entrepreneurship. It will happen over the next several weeks. Let me give you a trade secret. You know how many people applied for that show? With ideas. And bankable, in their perception, bankable and commercializable. 1,500 young people applied for that, to qualify for that show. You also perhaps know that 200 crores have been allocated by our government for VC, venture capital. 200 crores as a starter in the MSME, some of which will go into startups, we hope. And in the Bengal Global Business Summit, you will see a lot more. I can't reveal today. You will see a lot more. The main thing is, one day I was speaking with Honorable Chief Minister in conversation when this show issue came up, and she said, who said that Bengal doesn't have young entrepreneurs? They've all gone away or they're not here. Let's test the water. That's how that show was born in the operational sense, and 1,500 young people. She didn't know. She said, let's test the water. 1,500 people have applied with startups, and what brilliant ideas. Since the show is already shot, I can't tell you what happens at the end. But what I saw is just unbelievable. All from this state, with new ideas which are bankable. And I'm hoping that those 1,500 applicants will all, at the end of the day, whoever wins or doesn't win, they will all find angel funding from the angel network or from VCs. And you know, I'll end with a statistic. A study was done in the United States which found that the largest employer of the United States is not established industry. When they reach a certain point, they start mechanizing, they start innovating in different ways. The largest employer of the United States are those who have formed their company in the last 3 years. That means they are startups. But they will give you fresh employment, completely fresh employment. So this kind of show, the startup example I gave you, already 15 are already operational, with somebody with 20 crores, is one part of the employment generation puzzle. Only one part. There are lots of other areas where the state is working towards higher and higher level of employment. So I conclude by saying, we'll use the digital space towards a new ascendancy of Bengal. And I want you to be part of it. I think I'll stop and take some questions for the time. Okay.
Thank you very much, sir.
Do you want me to take some questions, or? I don't see any hands up, so I will retire to my chair. But I gave you a sense of the excitement and the vision of the state to move forward. Thank you very much for inviting me, AVP Group, and all other media that are here. I hope you will carry this message of hope, optimism, and vision to the people who come and read, and let them come up with fresh ideas and push the government to do more startups, more ventures, more innovation, and we will do for you the backbone for convergence, so that every person up to the Gram Panchayat is connected to your system. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Mr. D.D. Purkayastha, the Managing Director and CEO, AVP Private Limited, and Chairman, Infocom, to kindly come forward and present a memento to our Honorable Minister, Dr. Amit Mitra. Thank you so much for those inspiring words. You, sir, every year you've inspired us with your words, and you've always been with us. Thank you for your gracious presence.